Hey guys, we're going to be doing another painting today. We're going to be doing sort of a field or a meadow thing with a few trees here and there, a nice purple sky. Um, so we're going to have the purple up top, greenish, bluish down bottom. It'll be a nice scene. Go through my colors. I got a little bit of titanium white, sap green, cadmium yellow, Lizard Crimson. This is like a weird Magnum blue that I had left over. If you don't have that, just use the Phthalo blue. It doesn't matter. I'm just using it to get rid of it. Phthalo blue and Midnight Black. I have my standard 16 by 20 canvas, cheap from Hobby Lobby. I've covered it in a thin, even coat of the liquid white. I'm going to be posting a video soon on how to do that, on how to paint it with liquid white. But everything else aside, let's get started. I also have a small wash bucket here with paint thinner, odorless paint thinner. I have my palette knife, 2-inch round brush, 1-inch brush, a couple of fan brushes that are dirty, a brand spanking new script liner brush, so you're welcome. Uh, and my palette knife, which I don't even think we're going to be using this today, and some paper towels. That's it. All right, let's do it. Let's get started. Let's get started. All right, so I'm gonna take maybe half my red, and as you can see, this amount of paint colors, not that much. And I'm gonna take this. I think it's called magnesium blue. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Again, if you don't have it, it doesn't matter. Just use the regular phthalo blue. We just need blue and red together, which makes what? Purple. I knew you knew it. So we're just going to mix those up together, sort of mush them together. Now you can make this one. I'm going slightly more on the blue side, but if you have too much blue, it'll really eat up the red. The blue is a strong color, so use mostly red and then add a little bit of blue at a time. Mix it up. You can also get a little bit of white and just test where you're at. You can sort of see where you're at. That's good for me. That works. There's our sky color. Here we're gonna do a nice trippy purple sky. Uh, so just get some of your paint, whatever. I use this palette just because I got used to it, but my wife did buy me this ginormous uh, uh, Bob Ross. I forget even how to hold the darn thing. Wait, oh, it's like this. So, but it looks kind of cheesy, right? So I don't really, I do use it sometimes, but not a lot. Anyway, um, so I get the purple color. I'm gonna do our X's. Remember, start in the corner. This is a little darker than I wanted, but I think it's okay. It's gonna be dark up top. Don't get too much paint here. Good. Here, this painting actually isn't gonna have any water, which I think is fine. It's basically just gonna be some trees and a giant hill of grass. Maybe we'll have some water. What the heck? I'll decide at the last moment because that's how I am. All right. So anyway, so that's our dark brush, and then we're gonna take. Oh, where are all this freaking paint? That's one thing you guys gotta know about this painting thing, man. This shit gets everywhere. No matter, I don't care how clean you try to be, forget it. Anyway, make sure it's clean, dry brush. We're just gonna blend this sky out. I'm gonna put a few clouds, maybe. You know what? I was gonna put clouds, but screw it. Let's not put clouds in it. Let's get crazy. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go back and get our dirty dark brush. We're gonna get just the red, just the alizarin crimson. Just get a little bit. Just pull a little bit out. Just tiny bit. Just enough to sort of stain your brush. Okay. And we're gonna come here and we're gonna give it sort of a haze for the horizon, almost like a sunset. We're just going to add that in there. It's going to be real subtle. See how you could just change that, right? We didn't even do that originally. We just started out with it, and we're just going to, here. Just put it in. Still using the little X strokes. You can hold it, you could hold it sideways or you could hold it like this. Your choice. If you hold it like this, it just makes the paint a little bit. It just sort of pushes it in a little bit more, gives it a little more firepower for the brush. All right, now back to the blending brush. Let's just blend that out. Now, the big bonus part about this wet on wet technique that Bob, uh, I don't think he invented it, but he definitely made it famous. Uh, is that you can do things like that where you could easily blend the colors. If this were regular oil, and yes, I did a little bit of regular oil paint in art college. Yes, I went to art college. Um, it would be, you couldn't do it. It would be disastrous, and it would be a real pain to change it. But with the wet on wet, with the liquid white, we're good. Rose gift. All right, so there's a nice fiery sunset. Just sort of blend it in. My hand cramps up about this point, just because I've done like 15 years worth of martial arts, and painting hurts my wrists more than martial arts ever did. So anyway, all right, that works for me. All right, so now, uh, oh, okay, here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. Take that same purple sky color, add just a touch of the blue to it, just a touch more. We want it more on the blue side. Okay, I'm gonna do some background trees. Okay, we're gonna get our dirty brush, the one that we just did the sky with, right? We're just gonna tap lightly with the 2 inch. Just tap lightly, as you can see. Tap. You don't want too much. Just if you want to test, just test how much you got on the palette, right? That's probably good. All right, and so let's go right over here, a little bit towards the middle. We're gonna do some of these trees here. Just start plopping them in. And if you get one that's like really dark, like that is too much, just go over it. It'll go away. It'll fade out. Just fade it out. These trees, just let them go off into nothing. Let them go off to the side. Like I said, if it's too dark, just go back over it. These are going to be in the background. Just go back over it, and it'll sort of fade away. Now just go real light here into the horizon. Okay. Get our blending brush. Did I use the right one? I don't even know. Blending brush. And we're going to do what? Tap. You're going to get really good at this tapping thing because we do this a lot. So don't worry. You'll be perfectly fine with it. Just tap just to create mist, fade it, and then we're going to lift up, lift up, lift up, and then we're going to blend it out. Just blend that baby out. Boom. Like it's nothing. Now, we're going to go back to our color, get some more color, tap again, just tap that, tap, sorry, I didn't mean like that. And then we're going to go again, just slightly in front of. That's why you want this darker. If it were the same color or lighter, then, you'd kind of be SOL because you wouldn't be able to see it. It would just kind of blend in. So you want it darker, see? And you want just this top edge will be good. Okay. Here you can even go in front. That's fine. There, good. Now we're just going to blend. This creates depth in our paintings here, right? This creates depth. We want this top line. This bottom part is faded. You can even go into here. That's fine. But see, this is the blending brush, by the way. Whatever. And then lift up, blend it out, blend it out. Yeah, blend it out, blend that baby out. All right, good. Uh, should we do some on the other side too? Yeah, sure. What the heck, right? All right, now here, we're gonna recreate this back part again, but on the other side. It's gonna be like kind of like a valley. It's gonna be nice. So here, so these you want light, Remember, like I said, if it's too dark for this back layer, then just go over it again and it'll sort of take it away. Here, right? Go in the middle. Yeah, this is nice. These are the kind of paintings that I kind of like to do. In fact, I like to do them so much I sometimes have to stop myself from doing them all the time. Where you have a nice, bright sunset, either yellow or pink, and then a darker sky, or like a blue or yellow or whatever. Sorry, blue or purple or whatever it might be, and then you get this nice uh, contrast there, and then you get these light trees. They just sort of vanish into nothing. You could just sort of tap it and it'll sort of go away. They'll just become so light and whatever that you can't see them anymore. Lift up, lift up. If you guys want to see a mountain, please let me know. I don't do a ton of them just because I don't have a lot of mountains near me. To be honest with you, I struggled with the mountains for a while. It took me a while to get them. And I think with the mountains, if you're having trouble with them, uh, just keep practicing. But think about it in your head because it's one of those things where you do it over and over again and you're like frustrated, you can't get it, it doesn't look right. You're like, oh, this sucks, I hate it. Just keep going because it's one of those things where you do it, you do it, and you do it, and you feel discouraged, and then all of a sudden it clicks. You get one thing, you get one little uh, part of the mountain right, and you're like, oh yeah, that's it, and then it just sort of gets a lot easier, and it flows and clicks from there. All right, we're gonna do, gonna basically continue this second layer. I'm just getting a little extra of the blue here, but we want to tap, right? Just because I was running out of purple. Doesn't matter. All right, so we're gonna just go again. Same ideas over here. Same idea. Just you can go in front here. This one we want a little darker here. 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 Good. Good. All right, I think that looks all right. Good. We're gonna do this again. You're gonna get good at this. Uh, just this adds the layers, and the misty part is what allows it to the layers to sort of separate, without it being too like line to line. You don't want that. You want diffusion, as they call it. So I like these little dark spots. You can tap them to take them away if you want. If not, it doesn't matter. If it's a little too dark for you, that's fine. Just blend, just blend it out to the bottom here. Good. All right, sweet, dude. All right, so we got the sky, the backgrounds, and all whatever. Now it's time to start on the foreground. I'm just gonna take all this paint that I have here, the blue. I might have a lot of extra paint here. I might have put in too much. And take most of the red. Just blend everything out. We need a good dark color now. We're gonna start putting our foreground in, so we need the dark colors. Yeah, that's good. Good enough. Just as long as it's dark. It's gonna be very blue, but I want that because we're basically doing just grass. Um, so we're gonna go into with our same dirty dark brush. We're just gonna go into our dark color that we just made, and we're gonna start going in. We're gonna create our fields, like Bob said. Now we're just adding the dark here, right? Lay of the land. We're just gonna tab. Now I'm showing you the sort of patient way of doing this. To be honest, you could just friggin', you know, generator. But sometimes it looks nicer when you have the tapping like this. This would also be a good time to have a canvas that you painted halfway with the black gesso, that basically black acrylic paint sort of covers the dark part for you without having to use paint. But this way works just as fine. Just a good affiner. All right, here, just keep going. These fields are fun. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't feel like. Don't. I shouldn't say don't like. Sometimes I don't feel like putting grass in, or sorry, water in, just because I don't know. Whatever. I just change it up a little bit. Here, we'll put a few bushes here. Just see. All I did was I just got some more paint, and then I just turned it on, turned it sideways like that. No big deal. Here, bushes here, just a few. It's mostly about the grass. Um, yeah, I got a decent amount of paint left over, but nothing less than what I thought I would. So I got a nice pile left over. I always challenge myself to see if I use just the exact amount of paint. Okay, so that's it, dude. This is a really simple. This is a lot of tapping, tapping, tapping. Right? We did the tapping to make the mist here. We did the tapping to put the grass in here. And I do like to have the edge here where it start. I do like to have that darker. You know. So, all right. Let's see. You know what? Yeah. Let's get our. Was our blending brush we had from the sky. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, let's take a little bit of our yellow, our cadmium yellow, maybe a tablespoon's worth. Let's mix that dark color in, because remember, that was mostly blue, and blue and yellow make what? Green. So yeah, I knew you knew it. Good. Now, I don't necessarily like to put highlights on with the 2-inch brush, just because I feel like it's hard to, it doesn't like lay down as well, like it doesn't look as good. But I use just, you know, tiny, tiny, tiny bit of paint thinner. For this I like to use paint thinner because if you use liquid white, it lightens it. And this is sort of, remember, this is in the background. We want these hills to be coming over, so we're just gonna tap, tap here. Now these would also get light too from the sunset. So just tap, you know. And here, what you're doing is, because I used to make the mistake where I would use way too much thinner, and I would make this all light, and you would cover up the dark, which is a mistake. So you want this one line of highlight, and then you sort of fade it out as it goes down. As the paintbrush runs out of paint, that allows the grass to fade, and then you start again. Now think about where the light was. Now our light source is in the center, so it's going to come out. So we can start here in the center, center again, and don't just go straight across like a typewriter. This is I'm gonna get just a touch of liquid white. Uh, this is this is grass. It's not. It's gotta look natural. So here. But remember, this this highlight area is great. This part, this darker part in the middle, that's the only thing that is your friend that helps separate it. If you don't have that, it's gonna look like mud. It's just gonna be all one tone. Take your time, and then, like I said, as the paintbrush runs out of paint, it allows you to fade. So you're not having a complete highlight color there. All right, sweet. So that's that. Let's do. What should we do? Let's take. I had a little bit of white that I never used because I forgot to do the clouds for you guys. I was gonna do clouds, but to heck with it. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, just take these, and just to sort of reflect the sunset, we're gonna, oh, you know what we should do? Before I forget, just take your knife. This is the one and only time we're using this knife during this tutorial. Just scratch in some sticks and twigs. That's a nice little trick that Bob used to do. Make them tiny. Make them match the size. Excuse me. Sorry, I have allergies. Um, and we're just going to go here, just sort of tap, just to add, just so everything's not, green and purple and blue. Just a few little here's little here's. We'll cover this part up. And oh, you know what? Here, get our 1-inch brush now. We're gonna switch. It's just easier. You could wash the brush each time, but you know, you don't have to get just a touch more yellow into this green that we use for the grass. Okay, and we're just gonna go and do this guy here. Just a touch of a highlight. That's it. All right, and now, all right. So now we're ready. Now we're serious. I guess I didn't really need this sap green. I could have just used this dark color because it's mostly blue. Whatever. You live and you learn. All right, so now, so technically these are in the background. This is sort of in the background. Now we're really going to create the foreground. So we have the layer of the sky. We have this back layer of the trees. We have the slightly more forward layer of these trees. Then we have this grass and these bushes and stuff. Now we have these. Now we're going to create even more of that, which creates the depth. So, and remember, it's a field, but we don't have to do like 100% all grass. We're just going to create a nice little bush here. Plus, you got to be sneaky when you're an artist, right? Sometimes, like, okay, what am I going to do with this spot? I don't know. Let's just put a big, fat bush in there. Sorry, I didn't mean that the way it sounded, but you know what I mean. Uh, there you go. Like I said, it doesn't have to be all grass. All right, now, speaking of which, we're going to do that now. Wow, I think I gave myself too much paint here this time. Darn. All right, so now we're in it to win it, right? Now I'm just mixing together the yellow. I got some paint thinner. I got a little bit of the dark. This is gonna be nice. Got just don't be afraid. Just start getting it on there, right? Both sides, whatever, right? Bing bang boom. All right, now pick a spot and we're gonna start doing this. I'm gonna start like so. So I'm holding like this and giving a slight push up. Here, you know, some parts you can make bigger by pushing harder. This is our layers of grass. There, good. Turn it over, right? And remember, you're letting, as the paintbrush runs out of paint, okay, you're letting that help you fade the color, okay? Sorry about that. I have allergies. All right, guys. And you could just pepper in a few bushes here just to make it real nice. People go, "Oh wow, look, there's just a random pink bush." I don't know, whatever, right? I just make this shit up. It's kind of fun. Okay, and then so as like I said, as it's faded here. Now on this one, I would say I left a little bit too much of a gap. You don't want that much of a gap, so just whatever. Learn from your mistakes. Here, here. We're just going through and down. Lay of the land. Land is not completely flat like a typewriter. It's flowy or whatever you want to call it. Get a little bit more paint. Yeah, I'll get a little bit of liquid white here. This is some really thin paint now. This mixture I have here, but we're almost done. So almost done. Uh, Good. And then we sort of just here's where we really, because we're close now. The we're viewing this painting, so we're close now. So now the grass gets a little bit more bigger and more wicked. So like really, you could just really load it on now. keep this top line. That's important. Boom, done, finito. All right. Since I have, you know what? Let's see. Since I have some extra paint, let's. I didn't plan this painting. I kind of had a vision in my mind of what I wanted to do. I'm just washing the brush right now, so I'll wash it later. And yes, the method that Bob suggests for washing brushes is indeed the best method. You have paint thinner with I have some chicken wire in here in the bottom of a little plastic container, and then I scrape it against that with paint thinner. I got it from Walmart. It's odorless mineral spirits. It's right here. This stuff. This works fine. Odorless mineral spirits. It's cheap. I think it's like $6 or $7. And then I have this container. It's got like a dish drying rack in there inside of a tote. And then I just scrape it off on there, knock the excess off. Okay, let's see. Let's do let's do a nice big tree. What the heck? I know I said we're doing mostly grass, right? But sue me. Uh, let's do this. Here's how I like to do a tree. So I have my leftover dark paint. If you don't have leftover, just give yourself a little spritz, a little squirt of blue and black, just a tiny bit, like not even a teaspoon's worth. Here, and you know, just like Bob says, you know, decide where you want your tree and put it in. You know what? I might even just add just sometimes when you're going on top of all this other paint, I add just a little bit of paint thinner here to the dark, just so it cuts through all this, right? Do just a little bit at a time. You can always add more. You can't take it out. All right, and then I'm going to put mine right here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have it come off of the top of the canvas. Here, boom. And so basically the tree continues off the top. And here's the other limb. And remember, when you do a second major limb, just make the tree trunk that much thicker. So one limb, it would be this. Two limbs, it would be thicker. And when you're getting down to the end of your paint, like where you don't have that much left, and you need some more, just scrape it up with the knife, pick it up, and lay it down. My hand is really cramping right now. So please like and subscribe to this video, or like this video and subscribe to my channel, for hopefully my I don't get arthritis or carpal tunnel. And just go through and just sort of clean up the edge here. Okay, that's our tree. Simple. All right, now what I like to do is just take some of the dark paint. Okay, just get a line here. I lied. We are doing a knife, which proves that I didn't pre-plan this shit. Okay, so I just like to make the because remember our light source is here, so this back part of the tree is going to be the darker side. Plus, it also gives the tree a little bit of a straight line to it. All right, now let's see. We're going to take this same dark color, just a little bit of it, and we're going to take our little bit of liquid white, and we're going to here mix it up just a little bit, marbly color, and then just cut across. Maybe not that much, just a little bit, and then we're going to. I like to do it like this. Hopefully, you can see, and I'm just sort of tapping. This is sort of a blue tree, but I know trees are usually thought of as brown, but I don't know about you. I don't see perfectly brown trees all the time. But if you are OCD or whatever and you need your tree to be brown, by all means make it brown. But I don't really care. It doesn't matter. The colors are nice and important, yes, but the shape and the technique. Good. All right, now we're gonna take just the last dying little bit of our dark paint, and we're just gonna have the tree that overhangs here. right here. Last little bit. You know, most of this tree is, up here, but we're just seeing the last little bit of it. So make sure to cover the top like that there. Okay. Now, all right, let's go into the rest. I don't care that this brush is dirty. Just go right into the green. If you need to add a little bit of paint thinner, by all means, go right ahead. A little bit, don't go crazy. Just use the rest of our paint, okay? We're just going to put some highlights on here. Here. Remember, start from your light source and then work back. As it fades, it'll get, less and less and less. You might not even need to go back for a second spiel. This tree looks a little strange. It looks a little flat. That's okay. You know what? Let's just fix it with the highlights. Here you go. Here's what you do. So normally trees are like circular, right? So all I have here is just the highlights, that greenish color. Just add it in there. Just make it a little sort of more round. Now only go around the edge. Keep this darker spot here. Just sort of fix it up. Don't do too much. Don't go crazy. There you go. Good. I'm gonna wash that. Wash this mother here. Wash my brush. All right. If you guys have any special requests or whatever, something you want to see, leave it in the comments. If you guys would want me to do an entire painting tutorial where I do an impression of Rocky, please do so. I am in the Philadelphia area, so practically required by law. All right, so I mean, like that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed this painting. I know I did. It was pretty fun. I like doing these fields and meadows with the sunset. Although I don't remember doing a sunset with a field. One or the other I usually do, but it came out all right. I mean, just picture something in your mind, get an idea. Oh, I really want to do a mountain. Okay, start with a mountain, and then you figure everything else out from there. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment if you have a question or a concern or a suggestion. If you like painting tutorials, please subscribe. Uh, and I'm going to be posting one fairly frequently. I can't make any promises, but I'm going to try to do what I can. Thank you for watching. I'm going to clean up the brushes as usual, and I'll leave you looking at the painting, the finished painting. All right, guys. See ya. Shit, I just realized I filmed the whole thing in this portrait mode of the phone. I hope that doesn't come back to bite me in the ass. I think it'll be all right though, because they usually allow, YouTube now is pretty good where it allows you to, like you can upload the video, like no matter what the length, and if it's in this portrait thing, it allows people to zoom in. You hit that little square on the bottom right of the video, and then it'll make it'll bring it to your full screen, kind of like a TikTok video or whatever. Which, by the way, I'm on TikTok. That's where I started because I wanted to put music to my paintings to make them a little more dramatic because I'm a melodramatic artist. If you want to follow me over there, that would be fine. It's Sopranos Adam. Sopranos like the TV show Adam. No space, no nothing. Just Sopranos Adam. Uh, and you'll find me there. All right, I'm continuing to clean up, guys. I just scrape off my palette with the knife. Just scrape off the excess, which I'm kind of glad I didn't have a ton of excess. I thought I was going to, but you know, in the beginning, you don't use a lot of paint because you want the sky and the background to be subtle and light, typically. But then as you get to the foreground, you need more and more because you need that to be brighter and more intense because that's how it is when you know, that's what creates the depth. So that the backgrounds, the sky and the backgrounds are typically light, lighter. Even if you're using the same color, they're much lighter, you know. And then of course you use the trees in the background um, to same color as the sky. They're just lighter. You don't want like a blue sky and then like bright green trees in the background. It'll look really strange. So you could that's a good way to start as well. So you start with your blue sky, and then you just use your brush to create the things, the like the background of the you know stuff in the way in the background. All right.